Scott Manning here with another Practice Profit Report. I'm so excited today to talk to you about something that is, it's the tried and true principle of success. As a matter of fact, it's one of our founding reasons that we exist today. I always tell doctors, you got to have your clinical identity, you got to have your reason why and your driving motivation. And then you got to have your modus operandi, like how you make it all happen. Well, it's very simple for us. We call it dental success today. That means not tomorrow, not yesterday. It's not some distant future, faraway land, or elusive idea. It's all about you deserve success every day. Okay? But I'll tell you what, that's one core principle and belief. There's another one, though, and it was ingrained in us from day one, and it was called, if you want to grow your practice, you've got to grow your people. Thank goodness, at least for right now, we might have self-driving cars. We do even have some dental robots, but we got no self-driving practices. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as dentistry is about human interaction and relationships, patient number one, aside from you, always number one, okay, it's your team. Patient number one is a team. So I get the question all the time, like, doctors either love their team, like, so lucky and grateful, which usually, their attitude is part of the reason why they are lucky and grateful and they have awesome people, because they feel that way to begin with. And then we have other people who's like, oh my gosh, my team, it just it can't catch a break kind of a deal, or can't keep a full one, or can't hire the best, or whatever it is. So we always have the doctors, kind of ebbs and flows, like everything's great and wonderful and perfect, and then, everything is a little bit problematic and troublesome. So here's the deal. The equilibrium is you, right? It's like winning teams. Some people have the best seasons ever, and some people have some not so great seasons, but they still play to win. They don't play to not lose. And that's the mindset. But growing your people is far different. And so today I wanted to share with you a few key principles for your culture. My number one most significant trait or characteristic of successful people, aside from positive mental attitude, mindset, power of gratitude. We're going to talk more about that later this month. But it always comes back down to percentage of time being proactive. What does proactivity mean? Well, it means prioritizing preparation. Okay? It means making space and time for constructive, future-focused communication. So that means it's not team meetings to fix last month's problems. It's team meetings to master the future month in advance. So it's always thinking about this. It's like the morning huddle is not talking about the schedule. It's talking about the patient and what we're going to do to make an impact and drive their health forward. This is what it's about. So when it comes to your team, very simple. To fire up your people and keep them on fire, you got to fuel this fire. The first thing you have to do is you have to make sure that your team has a desire to win. And the only way they have a desire to win, now everybody has a desire to get paid. Everybody's got that desire. But the desire to win is to do well, is to execute at the highest standard of excellence. The only way that happens is if they have a connection to the why, to the mission, to what this is all about. And then you have to turn that connection into a commitment. If you can have a connection to the why and you can turn it into a commitment, you will have people who have a desire to win. Now, the secret behind that whole deal is this. We got to know, what does it look like? Okay, what is winning? You have to define winning, to your team. And that all comes back to your vision, right? Your mission. It has to be your why. It can't be their why before it's your why. If you're wishy-washy about your why, no wonder your people don't have a desire to win. And they don't show up and do whatever it takes. Okay, that's the deal. The second part, desire to win is not enough. All right? You have to have belief in self. And I'm talking about patient number one, your team. It's just like your patients have to believe in themselves in order to invest in their health. You have to have a belief in yourself. Bottom line, the team members, each and every one of them, have to have a belief in themselves. Because their belief in themselves is what will calibrate up or down their ability to execute. Okay? They can have the greatest ability. If they don't have the willingness and the desire, it's not going to matter. And that comes back to self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, all the things. Because if they have this ability and they have a belief, then it's going to drive the trait of champions, and that's called the discipline to be consistent. So you got the desire to win in the why, the connection, the commitment down to the belief in self, beginning first with you and then everybody else. Okay, and then growing skills and abilities, okay, will never outperform this, which will drive the discipline of consistency. We call that pride of ownership. And then finally, okay, I want to talk about the clarity of success. You know, what happens is everybody starts with down here, job descriptions, roles and responsibilities. Here's what you're supposed to do for me. Hey, you get paid to do such and such. And everybody starts with that deal. Wrong, okay? You have to start up here. And then eventually we come down and say, okay, let's talk about what success looks like. Let's talk about clarity of success for you. Okay, if you execute on your job description, okay, your tasks, your roles, your responsibilities, okay, this is what success looks like. Everybody forgets that part. They give them the checklist, the protocols, the how-tos. We train them on what to do. Okay, we don't give them the why, and we definitely don't give them what winning looks like. We don't give them a success. I want to know, me, myself, and I. Okay, what tells me, shows me, how do I know I'm being successful at what I'm doing? And from there, okay, you got to give them permission. Permission means feedback. Permission means make mistakes and get better. Now, you got to have the mistakes and the better. You can't just have the better without the mistakes, but you can't have the mistakes without the better. Okay, you have to have permission, okay, to grow and develop, to try, to excel, to expand. Okay? So here it is, right here. I want you to master the art of visualization. Everything in your culture needs to be about visualizing what we desire, about visualizing our success with patients, our success with ourselves, by visualizing our culture, talking about positive mental attitude, talking about personal development, talking about today's going to be a great day. Why? Because first we decided and we said so, okay, and second, because this is our standard of excellence in how we operate. So next, how you cap all this off with getting your people to be on fire is you have to have ownership, okay, of ownership over outcomes. Outcomes. If I sat down with your team right now and said, every person tell me what you are the owner of, what outcome you're the owner of. If I said, what are you the owner of? They're going to say, sterilization, the schedule, the insurance, hygiene, assisting. They're going to give me all these big, vague, nouns or whatever the hell they are. Okay, they're going to give me the compartments. They're not going to give me the outcomes. Got to know outcomes. This is the biggest challenge. Biggest challenge in all performance of world championship teams. Everybody knows what the outcome is. All right? And you're going to tie that baby right there. You're going to tie the roles and responsibilities to something they report on. And they report on results. If you have a person who owns outcomes and you have a person who reports on results, you will bring about a layer of accountability that will truly be liberating to you. This is what growing people, okay, is like, and this is what will lead to growing your practice. And I'm going to finish with just 2 simple points. I said it at the beginning. Where you put your focus, where your focus goes, your practice grows. The same deal with every single team member, the same deal with your patients, but most of all with you. So your culture is focused on what? Your personal development and growth plan for every team member is what? And then time invested. Show me where your time is invested, and I will show you exactly why, okay, the return is what it is. So you want to improve the team and you want to improve outcomes and results, you go to work on the catalyst for that, which is the people. This begins with zero tolerance for negativity, a culture of positivity, positive mental attitude, positive personality, positive in all ways. And then you invest time and focus on preparation and practice. Because practice doesn't make perfect, because perfect isn't what we're after, but we're after progress. And the only way you make progress is if you put time and energy into the people who are going to be the drivers of said progress. And that, my friend, is how you get your team on fire for your future, okay, and for your mission.